Hey guys, welcome to another episode of All Things Real Estate. I'm Aaron.
G.
Ben.
And David and Mark aren't here, thank goodness.
Our fearless leaders.
Yeah, usually we start with a market update. I'm going to start with something completely different that Jeet and I did today. We were driving to a new listing that we have coming, and we saw an older gentleman, not from even America. He's from India, visiting his daughter. He fell down.
From Calcutta.
Scraped his elbows.
Where are we?
Hurt
right now?
his. We are right by Branham High School.
Okay.
That's my stomping ground.
Mm-hmm.
He tripped over
And
uneven.
we drove him all the way back to his daughter's house. He tripped. He hurt his knee.
He was bleeding.
He was bleeding.
We thought he was having a heart attack.
But we did the right thing. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about today.
Pay it forward.
Pay it forward. Do the right thing.
What
Ben,
did you do today, Ben?
What did you do?
It's a rare condition this day and age to read any good news on the newspaper page. And love and tradition of the grand design, some people say, is even harder to find.
Hold on a second. You saved a person's life from having a heart attack?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Wow.
He skimmed his knee instead.
Thank God you were there.
Hey.
We were about to call the ambulance.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was an intense situation. We helped the man in need
But more
today.
importantly, thank God Mark and David aren't here. Just wanted to reiterate that. All right.
All right.
Take us through what's happening in the market.
Well,
Ben put a new listing up.
got
Yeah.
a new listing on the market. I think we have a couple new listings from our team on the market. Got a duplex on the market, single family home on the market. A couple new ones coming this week on the market.
We got a starter single family home I'm putting up.
Where are we seeing these people coming from? Are they downsizing, moving out of the area, dying?
Mine are dying, live out of the area, or buying up. Like they had a smaller place and then they want something bigger.
Are they looking to remodel and put on the market, or is
Yeah,
this?
I would say we're almost getting every single house that we are selling, like on the listing side. We're doing some sort of work to it, right? Paint, landscape, changing out, light fixtures, that sort of thing.
Just high ROI items. Just so that it looks nice and fresh for
What
the
are
new
the
buyer.
top 3 high ROI items that you would recommend to
My
your seller?
3: paint, light fixtures, landscape.
Or is light fixtures including adding lights, or
I would
just
swap
replacing lights?
old lights for those flush mount lights that are $19.99 at either.
What about
Costco.
adding floodlights or adding recessed lights?
Nah.
I think my top 3 would be front yard and backyard.
Front yard and backyard, what?
Like just landscaping.
Okay.
Paint, interior, and flooring.
Flooring.
I put flooring in mine too.
What if you have natural hardwood floors that are old?
Refinish them.
Yeah, refinish them.
So I think you get a better ROI when you don't refinish floors and you put the luxury vinyl plank on top. I think that's what buyers that are buying.
So
in
even
today's
if they
market
has
like.
the original hardwood flooring in condition,
Because
you're
they
still putting
creak and
LVP
they,
on top.
It feels old.
I don't agree. I think hardwood floors are still quite seen as a premium item.
You see a 35-year-old buyer that's like, yes, I have old hardwood floors.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, especially if it's in decent condition where you can refinish and make it look nicer. You have flooring that not a lot of people have right now. LVP is getting pretty common, I would say. Like every single home we see. I hate with a passion gray LVP floors.
I think it depends on the home. I think if
The gray floors are
I
out.
think if this is an older home and they're showing the hardwood floor, I think it's good. I think if you're putting in new lights, repainting the whole thing, and you're gonna I wouldn't leave the floors. Put in the floors. Just make it whole.
I'd say if you're doing kitchens, bathrooms, that sort of thing, yes, continue with the theme.
With the theme, I wouldn't modernize a home and then leave the wooden floors and.
Guess who's here?
The floors.
Holy moly!
Guacamole.
Dude, nice of you to show up.
We have a special
Well,
guest.
you're just so you just don't even show up anymore?
Guy puts on
Go
one
ahead,
duplex.
go ahead.
Puts on one
Go ahead.
duplex.
Hey, it's good to see you at Bascom, by the way.
Hey, we're supporting you guys. Look at it. We got the up and comers to like take over the team.
Yes.
It's all good stuff.
For the buyers who were
You guys keep educating our buyers and clients and everything. It's a good job. You're doing great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
You know, we were actually just talking about how happy we are that you're not here today.
Well, okay, great.
We miss our captain. Don't worry, your seaman will be here.
Unbelievable. By the way, are we going to war?
Why are we bringing this up? We don't need to bring this up.
No, but it affected interest rates quite heavily. That's why I brought it up.
Where are the rates at?
They spiked yesterday. So Iran bombed Israel, but most of the missiles were shot down. But I think it was more like a, hey, let's stop this before you create World War III. But it spiked the stock market didn't
Went
do
down
super well,
significantly.
yeah. And then interest rates spiked at least a quarter.
Yeah.
Right? Which is pretty significant in the grand scheme of things.
That's true. I don't think we're gonna get to
I
a
don't
war,
think so either.
but I mean the attack seemed pretty harmless because all the drones were taken down.
Yeah. It was like a, hey, let's not continue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't affect interest rates because we were on a nice trajectory down.
We were until the Fed came and said they
Yeah.
aren't gonna cut rates anytime soon.
So I estimated that there's a lot of things going on, whether it's with Russia or Israel. Overall, it seems like the people, especially that are buying and selling houses here in the Bay Area, are not super worried that anything's going to happen really with the financial markets or the housing market. So I'd say we're going up at least 5 to 7% this year. I mean, the market's freaking crazy.
Do you see Tesla just laid off 14%?
14% of their total. Well, that's a
Just
lot.
yesterday.
Yesterday.
Pretty big jump.
Massive.
How do you feel about that?
Well, due to the fact half of my clients are in tech.
A lot of them were factory workers, is what I heard.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Because they
had to do with
overhired.
from the sales side and stuff. Factory workers.
Because they overhired. They significantly overhired over the
A lot of these
last.
companies have been
second.
running fat for a long time.
Yeah, so they're just trimming down the excess manpower that they
especially
hire.
with like car companies and stuff. I feel like so many people overhired because they thought they were all well. Tesla thought they were just going to keep excelling in the car manufacturing district, which they are not anymore. And many companies like Ford and stuff thought they were just going to go completely electric by 2030, and now they're rethinking everything, going out with more gas cars. I think a lot of them hired preemptively, now backtracking, which
I think it's just because of the high rates, right? Like Tesla cut down their margins for profit. They were almost at 30% profit margin. Now they're closer to like 6 or 8%. With that kind of margin, they can't really be with the number of employees that they had hired.
Well, they were
So-
running as a tech company.
Yeah, exactly.
Now they're being run as a car company. Which I don't
they're
know.
realizing that.
Yeah, but they own the market share. I mean, you drive in this town, and what I have seen is a huge increase of people complaining that they can't get chargers, especially now that they've done the Tesla adaptable. What is that called?
The open sourcing
Yeah.
of their charging network. So they like if you own any other EVs, as long as you have an adapter, you can go and charge at a Tesla charger.
Even with that, though, it's so slow. You can't even, like, compared to a regular Tesla charge, those people are just wasting time on a charger.
Well,
But it only takes an hour for a supercharge.
not really. I mean, even lesser. Like, because you don't usually charge to 100%, right? If you do 100%, yeah, it'll take you forever. But like that 80 to 100% charge level takes you the longest. 0 to 80 is probably, for me, it's 35 to 40 minutes. Which is not bad, because think about on a long drive or something, you stop by at a restaurant, or you stop by to grab some stuff, or by the time you're back, it's charged.
So how do you think having an EV charger affects home value prices when it's installed? Do you recommend a seller keep it there, take it with them?
I mean, it really just,
Our market's so hot that it's hard to.
doesn't even matter, yeah.
It's like what, like a $2,000 for an EV charger is not really adding any value.
I mean, if you're
to
going to
your
think about
home.
an EV charger as a homeowner, you just got to look at your electrical panel first.
Yeah.
Make sure you can even hold it. If you can, add it in. I mean, even when you're looking at rental properties and stuff, most of the people who are renting properties are open just installing one themselves and just leaving it. I don't think it's an issue, a positive or a negative. I think it's something that people ask for now more, just like out of curiosity. Hey, is there a charger?
Yeah, it's like do I have to upgrade my panel to add a charger, or do I have the 220 volts available where I can just plug it in? If the option to add EV chargers present, that's a bigger, it's just one of the pros that people can look at, so that maybe you get 1 or 2 offers because of it. But
I feel like it was such
I
a
don't
big
think-
thing previously. Like a couple years ago, if you had a charger in your garage, it was like, oh crap, you have an EV charger?
Yeah.
I don't know what changed. Wasn't it still the same price to add it?
I think it was more expensive earlier.
expensive?
But now it just depends, like whether your panel can handle it or not, right? Like do you
Whether
have
it's
an
even in
old-
the right location or they're running.
Exactly. Exactly. Now you're gonna. I mean, you need permits as well. So it's like, have you gone through the hoops of doing that? Like to add like another line for an EV charger, or do you already have one in the garage that's already there that they can just use and plug it in? So, yeah, it's definitely a pro. But it's one of those things like, oh, the bathroom's upgraded, the kitchen's upgraded, the flooring's upgraded, the lighting's great. Oh, you have an EV charger too. That's awesome. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna buy the house because it has an EV charger.
So if you're a seller, you'd take your EV charger?
I think I just learned moving EV chargers is pretty expensive. Almost the same price as installing a new one.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it'll cost you $500 to move an EV charger from one place to another, and it'll cost you $700 to install a new one.
Well, there it is there.
Yeah.
Facts with G.
Thanks.
Leave your chargers.
Hey, so
Leave your chargers.
let's talk about how crazy the market is right now, because I think a lot of people say that the market's going to go down. So my latest experience of the market being crazy is I submitted an offer that was a list price of $2,998,000. There ended up being 21 offers. I submitted $715,000 over list price, all cash, and I didn't even get a counter offer.
Wait a second. Start at what the list price was and where the location was.
The list price was $2,998,000.
So almost $3 million.
And you submitted 3.6?
3.7.
I submitted for $3,715,000,
All cash.
all cash, quick close.
Where?
And I was told, thank you so much for the offer.
Where?
The seller has gone with the higher
by-
offer.
Yeah, on East Campbell Ave, right by the prune yard.
Was this a strategic plan of the selling agent to price it lower, or was
Apparently,
this just,
so I
was
talked
it
to
part
her.
of the comps?
I talked to her. It ended up being, I guess, part of the comp. Still a bit high, in my opinion. But the way that people look at price per square foot changes once you get over, let's say, 2,500 square feet or 3,000, right? So basically, this house ended up selling for over $1,200 a foot, just like a 1,200 square foot.
Yeah,
house.
but is the offer that they accepted, is it going to appraise, or is this something that's like...
It's most
I
likely
guess.
all.
I mean, everyone was pretty close to each other.
So she
and
just priced it a lot lower.
I guess, but when I talked to her like 3 days before, I was like, hey, I think I'm going to come in at 3.5. And she's like, yeah, I think that's a slam dunk. Like, you have good terms, you're quick close, all cash, you know, blah, blah, blah. But to get blown out and just told, thanks. Mark, why don't you grab a seat, Mark?
You guys are done, aren't you done yet?
No,
We started 20 minutes late because you didn't explain to us that you're going to be running late.
Yeah, well, you know what? Some of us have to really work and...
Well, based on the production tracker that I have hanging
Oh,
out.
you know, there's more to just slamming
Right.
in homes and transactions.
Yeah, look at the flow chart. This man's at the top in 2 sections.
Mark has joined us. Mark is the
There are a couple of things I wanted to bring to the table, right? I mean,
Oh, welcome.
Mark,
hey,
we're
right?
welcoming you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah,
I
it's
really
good
do
to
appreciate it. Oh my
Say hi
God,
to
I'm
the
so
guests. This
excited.
is our partner,
You know,
Mark.
honestly, it's been so long since I've been able to come in here, so I appreciate you guys keeping the fort down, doing
Absolutely.
what you're doing. Production is absolutely insane. I cannot believe when I saw it up on the meeting today, $23 million last month.
Us?
Freaking awesome. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
You got it, yeah.
Good job. Good job. Good job.
Good work.
So I know you guys have already been talking a little bit. I'll interject a couple things here. One of the things I wanted to talk about is the potential of foreclosures coming back. Yeah, I don't know if everybody saw the article about the condos that the HOA was foreclosing on. They were buying them for $30,000 to $32,000. There was I think the one thing they neglected to report on, or maybe they did, is that there was a judge that put a temporary restraining order on that sale that should have not happened.
Who?
But
Or what city is
San
this?
Jose.
San Jose.
San Jose. It
No,
was
no.
one of the high
Mercury News.
rises.
Gee,
There-
was it in the Mercury News that
It
you
was.
keep getting featured in?
Absolutely.
So anyways, I don't think we're going to see that issue necessarily on the foreclosure side of it, but we are seeing it on the commercial front. I mean, here locally.
Like office space.
Yeah, I mean, there was on Deanne's Boulevard, you know, KW, we opened up that office in Saratoga. When we were looking for that office, there was a Kelly Moore paint store on Deanne's Boulevard that kind of went out of business or whatever they
Pretty
did.
prime location.
It is, and we were looking to purchase it and maybe have one of our own wealth building offices that we would do ourselves and rent it back to KW. Well, somebody came in and bought it for $5.5 million, foreclosed, gone. So you're going to see more of that because.
What do you think they lost totally? Like,
Well, they
financially.
were trying to get a motel or a hotel put on the location, and I think they were just waiting to see where the financial market would take them if it made sense, but ultimately they wound up getting it foreclosed on. My point is, I think there's going to be more and more of that happening on the commercial side of it. So for our clients out there, it could be some good opportunities, right? I mean, when we have times like this, we always talk about skies falling or whatever it is, but I see it as incredible opportunities for our clients and ourselves.
Well, what I have to remind our clients all the time is that they're like, well, now is not the right time to buy. But in 2008, 2009, when everything was doomsday, were your friends telling you that was the right time to buy?
No.
Nope.
Right? And that would have been an incredible time to buy. You know, we've said this so many times, time again. Every time I've bought a property in Silicon Valley, I thought I've overpaid for it, that how in the hell is it going to go up? How is it going to go up another 50% in 10 years, right? How's that house we were paying $1 million for going to go to $2 to $3 million bucks? I mean, you guys see this stuff every single day. Long term, it's golden. The sooner you get into this market, the better.
So to fill you in on where we were just before you walked in, we were talking about how crazy the market has been. So house listed just under $3 million. I wrote an offer, all cash, $3.715 million.
Right.
And I got told, hey, thank you so much. We appreciate your offer. No counter, no nothing. 21 offers.
Yeah.
And that is just 2015 build,
Right.
3,300 feet, pretty close walking distance to the prune yard, good street.
Right.
But that means 20 other people lost out.
Right.
And
they're still out there.
there was at least probably 6, 7, 8 people over 3.5, which means they stepped up $500,000 from the list.
It's ludicrous. But on the flip side of that, we've got property on the other side of the hill in Scotts Valley, Santa Cruz County that is not moving.
Yeah, same
Right.
with Morgan Hill hit a little stutter.
I mean, we've got is it a 4-bedroom? Blue Bonnet's a 4-bedroom, right? Three bedroom, 2 bath, nice townhome, and we're at $899 on that thing, and there's zero activity. Now, in all fair disclosure, I suggested $850, but anyways, that was a property that a year ago we had an offer at $900,000 on, right? And now we're just not enough activity to get it sold right now.
Yeah.
Condos and townhomes are hit or miss. Like it's very.
Well, I think more than anything, it's about price, right?
Price, that's
you
true.
got to make sure you accept the fact that the condo market isn't the same as single family, and price at the right price to where you're going to get that activity.
When interest rates tick up, even if it's a quarter, right? It affects condo townhouse buyers who are just doing anything they can to get their foot in the door way more than it would.
That is
like
such more of a first-time home buyer market, right? And unfortunately, it's not a like in this case, this is a it's on the second floor, so you have the stairs. So it's not a client who's looking to downsize because they want a single level, right, where they can get to it. So yeah, you're right. I mean, the majority of condos are first-time home buyers, so highly impacted by these interest rates, which are not going down anytime soon.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about how Iran threw some missiles over at Israel, and ultimately it doesn't sound like anything super, super crazy happened, and they were mostly mitigated, but that brought the economy down quite a bit, for that day at least, and ticked interest rates back up slightly, right?
So are you saying that's the reason why is that the whole reason why the economy crashed that day? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Just
I
because
mean,
the missiles were
yesterday
launched?
the economy crashed pretty hard. Not crashed, but it went
It's down.
Stocks are down pretty significantly over the last week or so.
It didn't really.
Crypto too, by the way.
Crypto's down. Crypto was the
I'm
first
done with
thing to
that
move.
world.
I'm glad I sold when we
until
were a little bit higher.
Bitcoin and all of that is regulated by like turning off. Like I don't like the ability for it to change in my sleep. It stresses me
24/7.
Like when you wake up, it just what's going on here?
I don't know. I think there's like some urgency happening here. It's an alarm, critical alarm.
Oh boy.
Mark's blood sugar is low.
Oh,
Anybody have a Snicker bar?
Mark, what do you have to do right
that is
now?
an alarm. No, anyways, it's an alarm on one of our listings. Should I?
What?
Somebody's in the house. Look at this, real time, excitement.
Answer.
False alarm. All
False
good.
alarm.
All good.
No one's there for an off-market showing.
No. So one of the things I'm starting to do, which I've been pushing you guys away from for so long, is doing full turns and remodels on properties to maximize the sale price. I mean, I got a property right now.
Welcome. It's nice
Thank
to have
you.
you.
I like to be on that side of it.
Yeah.
But no, a year ago, there's a property that we have now as a listing. A year ago, I started meeting with the owners, and it's a condo. You know which one we're talking about. And at the time, they were like 1.1 to 1.2. Nice 3-bedroom, 2-bath. But I didn't see the benefit of putting money into it. I didn't see that 3x return that we expect to get, right? Now it's changing because those condos now that are fixed up are going for 1.3 to 1.4, and those are all the ones that have, and you don't have to put a lot of money into a condo to get to that number.
Mark, your top 3 items you put in a property for ROI.
We already went.
Well, I mean,
No, you only get
Welcome
3.
to the other side.
well, I mean, other than the basic like paint, carpet.
no,
and
that
stuff.
counts. What are your
No.
3?
Oh yeah, paint, carpet,
So you would go carpet for... Okay, hold on.
Flooring. Don't say carpet.
Okay.
Flooring.
Sub question.
Flooring.
Would you rather have, if the hardwood is good underneath,
Not
would you rather...
for the listing.
Yeah, for a listing. Would you rather keep the original hardwood if it's a good condition, or are you sticking LVP over it?
Great question. Normally, I strip the carpet out, and expose the hardwood, put some Murphy soil on
You're
it, make it
gonna
look as good as
refinish.
we can. Not necessarily, because I don't want to wait 2 or 3 weeks to put it on the market, right?
Okay, so
I mean, if it was it depends. If it was a property today in Los Gatos, I'm going to make that property look as good as I can in the
let's
condition
say
it is.
Cambrian. Good schools.
Yeah,
teetering
I'm
between
I'm
1.8 and
still.
2.2.
I mean, here's the challenge. Anytime you start doing so now, anytime are you opening up the can of worms, right? So you go and put in some nice LVP into the property, and all of a sudden, obviously, you're going to be painting it. But you got brand new flooring, and now do you have to do the kitchen? Do you have to do cabinets, stuff like that? So that's where I'm analyzing.
That's what I said.
That's what we said.
If you're going
Yeah.
to do the kitchen and bathrooms and all of that, sure, do the
You don't want to
floors.
do it half, because one of the things I'll always say is that a seller is never going to put the money into a property that a buyer would themselves. And to this day, I don't care where the market's up and down or not, a buyer wants a blank canvas. They want to buy a property at the right price that they can go in and do their own touches to it. Now, if you're going to put the money into it like you're doing on Roberts, where, man, you're dialing that thing in.
Is that still the case right now?
She didn't have a
No,
ceiling.
no. Like I said, I'm leaning over to your guys' side of it, right?
I dialed it in
No,
with
but
the ceiling.
I'm saying, do you think a buyer is looking at homes now in our market with the interest rates where they're at as, I like this blank canvas?
Yes, depending on the area, though.
Yeah, I mean, you bring up a good point, though, too. It depends on the buyer. If you're
Yeah.
that first-time home buyer,
You don't have a whole lot of wiggle room to look at an empty
You don't have-
canvas, or
but
you're
I
living
gotta-
in an
I
empty
mean,
canvas.
Again, for me, and I do think a lot of buyers feel this way, but you guys work with them more than I do in today's world. I mean, that's a great question. Wouldn't a buyer rather have a project home that they can have sweat equity in and they can do it the way they want to?
I would.
Right?
I think a great example is Vista Del Monte that we sold last year.
Yeah.
It was in original condition.
Correct.
And it was so original that if you did anything to it,
You have to do the whole thing.
you would have to do the whole
Agreed.
thing.
But that's also a $3 million house and a $5 million.
Yeah.
And
But
does that property get the same premium now with 7% interest rates as it did at 5% when we
Yeah,
listed
because
it?
it's
all
in
I
Los
would-
Gatos.
I think
you
you would-
even more.
Yeah, I think it'd sell
It
for
would sell-
another $500,000.
I think those buyers
Yeah.
are genius.
Yeah.
Wait,
Exactly.
As the
Did you
blank
sell
canvas
that?
still.
No, I was second.
Yeah, and keep in mind what we do with that property. We painted it, we stripped the flooring out, exposed the hardwood floors just so people can see the structure of it. Did our inspections, make sure we knew about any problems before the buyer came in.
At the end of the day, I think you should get it as close to move-in ready as possible. That doesn't mean you have to update everything, but at least clean it up.
Yeah.
And like,
What is the one thing you want done as a first time home buyer where you don't have to touch it? One thing in the house. Whether it's
Don't have to
updated
touch
kitchens. Are you looking for updated kitchens? What's the hardest thing as a first time home buyer they're gonna have to do?
I think
on
you
their
got to
end?
strip it out all the way down. I mean, the very first thing you do is you want to know what the hell you're buying. You want to know what the foundation. You
Well,
want
yeah,
to know
but I'm
your
talking about like
inspections,
if you walk in as a first time home buyer, if you're not looking at something that needs a full remodel, what are you looking for to at
wanna-
least get started?
Great, but I want something I can live in that's making it livable while I can take on
So does that mean an
projects.
updated kitchen when you move in?
if it's a kitchen, I want at least appliances. Like, give me some like a good stove, a washer.
Would you take
dryer.
a kitchen over bathrooms? Or would you take bathrooms over a kitchen?
I would glaze the tiles in the bathroom to set me over for temporary, and then I would do a kitchen first.
Yeah. Well, now we're just rambling on. I think that's pretty much.
That's a good question.
Are you ending our podcast for the third time?
Well, I don't know, dude. You guys have been in here for like 45 minutes.
But you've only been in here for 15. We
We started
restarted.
20 minutes
Poor
late.
Jacob's gonna have so much editing in this. thing.
That's
It's
okay.
crazy.
Our boss
Because you've
pays.
walked in and out.
Their fault.
All right.
Hey, I just came in to say
Hey,
hi. That's all.
I-
Hey, is your watch keeping the right time now? Do you
Hey,
fix that?
I have something called Aaron's Mad. And this is
When's
what
Aaron not mad?
This is what I would like to talk about.
Okay.
I had a great offer out. I was the buyer's agent. This property was a really unique property. It backed, you know, when you're on Highway 85 driving from South San Jose towards,
Really unique. It landed on the sound wall. Just really good.
when you're driving from South
Remember,
San Jose,
Aaron's mad. Sorry.
when you're driving from South San Jose to Los Gatos on 85, you look to your right and there's that nice big open farm park.
Yes.
It'll
yeah.
never be developed
Yeah,
on.
off of Blossom Hill and
So
Snell.
this house is on backs to that.
Yeah, I know where
it's
that's
a
at.
great opportunity. It's listed at 1.6.
Okay.
I tell the agent, hey,
1.6.
I have a really, really, really motivated buyer.
Yep.
We'd really like it. She says there's no other offers, so I give her a great offer,
Oh,
just
yeah.
under
Yeah,
1.7.
Yep,
Actually, it was 1.7. And then communication goes dark. I don't hear from her. She doesn't answer. I'm like, hello? Any
Yep.
other offers? What's going on? I can't write an offer against my own self if there's no other offers. What's going on here? We showed pre-approval up to $2 million. We would have paid over 1.8 for the house.
Okay.
I wrote for 1.7.
Yes, you already said that, but go ahead. What's the point?
And she took something even lower.
She took another offer that appeared out of thin air, gave me no
Yeah.
communication. It took a worser offer and sold it for 1,675.
Did she represent the buyer? Do you know?
No.
No.
She didn't represent the buyer, and she
Yeah.
gave me a signed rejection with
Yeah.
no explanation.
Yeah.
And I called her. I was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
I literally put in writing, "Hey, should I rewrite my offer?" It sounds like something. And then the only response I got from her was, "No, it's fine.
Yeah.
You don't need to rewrite." I'm like, she is the worst agent. She
Well-
costs her clients at least 10%.
Yeah. I mean, and that's a challenge.
That's why I say who you work with matters. She
100%.
sucks.
I
you
agree.
sue me if you see this.
Well,
You suck.
Hey,
Get
no,
a new
no names.
job.
No names.
I don't even know her name. That's how useless she is.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, we're
That's a
gonna
challenge. That's a challenge with this business, right? I mean, it is who you work with matters. It's our network, the agents that we know and everything. But occasionally you come across these agents out of the area or they're newer or whatever. They don't do a lot of business. And, you know, as much as we try to educate them on the process and help them out, it's an unfortunate,
Mark,
unfortunate situation.
Here's what's interesting. All these commission lawsuits, that what I was willing to pay for the property if she would have communicated correctly is more than the entire commission
Well, and that goes back to that whole commission argument
from the
scenario too,
number
right?
one real estate company that
Okay.
she works at.
All right. Are we done now?
Done. I just wanted to share that with you guys.
Holy
That's why I say
moly.
who you work with matters. That's the show we deal
All
with.
right. Hey, so we've got some exciting things going on. We got Music in the Park coming on, Jazz in the Plaza. We got another movie night coming in. So everybody, thank
Which
you
movie?
so much. I don't know, but there's some really cool ones
How
coming
did
out.
you like the last one, King Kong?
I thought the storyline was pretty bunk. I mean, you know, I know we filled the house. I think our clients loved it and everything, but yeah, I don't think it. I wouldn't be seeing it again. I would do like you know, kind of a
1 to
thumbs
10.
down.
What are you giving it?
4.
4. What are you
4.
giving it?
I haven't seen it, but I can look on IMDb.
You left early.
Hey, I'm watching a new series that's pretty cool. Fallout.
Never heard of it.
You haven't seen that? You know the video game Fallout?
Jeet and I dealt with an old man who fell down.
We did a noble deed today.
Yeah, we
good.
picked
Awesome.
him up off the ground and drove him home today.
Oh, wow.
On the way to our new.
Who you work with matters.
Yeah.
Who
Look
you
at
pick
that.
up matters. Who you work with
Did
matters.
you get a listing out of it?
Yeah, actually, well, kind of. It was his daughter's house. She works at Apple. She's currently in China.
Once she comes back, we'll have the sign in the yard.
Badass.
4. IMDb's got Godzilla 4.
Ooh, Mark was on.
47 Metascore.
Mark gave it a
You know,
4.
Yeah, I just, you know.
Mark the
terrible,
movie
terrible,
connoisseur.
the
The
terrible.
The critic.
Mark's now
storyline.
IMDb.
Mark, you have nothing else for us today?
I don't think so. I mean, everybody's doing
You've
a great
acquired
job.
116 buildings. This is the headline on the Mercury News. Builder's remedy was supposed to Manhattanize the Bay Area. So where are all the houses? The tool promised to give developers power to override local zoning, but cities are holding up projects in litigation/environmental reviews. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I call BS on that. I mean, they're trying to, but these projects are moving forward, and you're not going to be able to stop them.
So what about the
They're-
people who've been waiting 10 years? Eventually they're going to win?
Well, I don't know how many of them have been waiting 10 years.
Los Altos Hills.
Yeah. Those are one-offs, right? If you look at the projects that are coming out, like San Jose's doing a great job with their projects. I mean, those projects are going up.
1 to
left
10,
and
what would you give the city of San Jose?
right. Regarding their housing element,
Like how hard they're trying.
I'd say an 8,
An
9.
eight? What
Yeah, I
could
mean,
they do
they're
better?
moving forward with the projects and everything. I don't think they can do anything better. I'll never give anybody a 10. I don't even give you guys 10s, and I think you're one of the best
What?
people in the business. 9.5. Okay,
All right.
9.5. I mean, 10, dude. That's
All right. So
my
San
wife. My
Jose-
wife's a 10. But, you know, that's the only person in the world.
What about
I'll
your
give a 10
daughter?
to. 9.5.
Jeffrey?
Oh, that's a guy. Jeffrey's a solid 9. Anyways, no, the building remedy, you know, all this stuff in my mind is just fodder, white noise stuff. I mean, you're seeing these projects come on where they're trying to blow them up. The developer is going to, you know, piss everybody off because they're going to push it as high as they can because they know they're going to negotiate down to something more in the middle ground and stuff. But it's not going away. You know, California has a housing shortage. The governor has made it very clear that that's a priority. And there are cities that are winning, like Campbell, San Jose. I'll say it right now. The cities that are losing, Los Gatos, you know, Saratoga, some of these other areas that
There's
the
a-
citizens are not buying into it.
Well,
There's
if the lake is drained. I don't know.
I know. You're going to start seeing some foundations cutting in there pretty soon.
I already saw.
This is the time
there's
to build
trucks
on
out-
the
there's
solar
trucks
It's a
out
very
there
good
right
point.
now.
And the problem is, you know, the NIMBYs, not in my backyard. The problem with that philosophy is
NIMBYs.
you're NIMBYs.
That's a good one for Aaron. He's
There you go.
collecting these.
You're going to wind up you're going to wind up with projects that you're not going to have control over instead of, I mean, look, per example, we talked about this before. Campbell, on their very first try with their application for the housing element, got it approved because they gave the city more units than what they were required to do. They almost doubled the amount of units with the way they did it. It got it approved the first time. Los Gatos is on their 6th application because they approached it from a very conservative standpoint, and the city kept denied it, instead of saying, hey, we're going to give it you want. So now that you have SB 330, you've got these projects that are going and scaring the hell out of people. You're going 7 stories down
They're
at the post
huge
office.
projects. They don't even give a shit what the neighbors say because they're going to win.
You know where McDonald's is, right behind McDonald's, or Swenson has that project. That's a huge
The project that's on Bascom.
Yeah, by Dry Creek.
Literally
San Jose, that's San
every
Jose.
single home on Dry Creek now has these big 8-story buildings just looking right down into their backyard.
Yeah, well, they have the one in what was it, Pacifica or South San Francisco? I think it's by UCSF, where it's this like 30-story tall building, and it looks like a sundial, right? I mean, because everybody else is single story.
Yeah.
And they had it in the news where they're just showing the shadow that goes across all the houses and stuff.
It's hilarious.
But again, hey, it's a mandate that the state of California put on. We need more affordable housing, and you're not going to fight it.
There's 255 units being built in Saratoga with a hotel building as well.
Where's that going in at?
I'm not sure exactly where, but I read that on
Saratoga's
the same.
coming around. Los Gatos is
They don't have a
challenging it.
choice. To
Yeah, even Menlo
You
Park.
don't.
Menlo
And
Park's
again,
building
the
lots
more
of
they
units.
try to fight it, and I appreciate the fact, I mean, listen, I'm a lifetime Los Gatos, and I mean, I love the area, but you're not going to stand in progress, and I'd rather have control over that progress than no control over it, right? I'd rather be able to work with the developers and come up with a good compromise than having the developers, listen, they have no choice but to do what they're doing. That's not a popular position, but it's reality.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
All right, now you
Now we're
can
done?
wrap it up.
Yeah. Awesome.
Still
Glad to
mad.
be back, man. This is so cool. Awesome. Love you guys. Love you guys. Thank you
Hey.
guys for tuning in.
Dee Dee, 10. Heather, 9.5. Jeff.
Jeff, 9.
Hey, catch you guys next time.
Take care. Bye.
Later.